Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2019. Cannot believe it. 1 week till Christmas, if that's what you celebrate. Hanukkah's next week too. I'm sure Kwanzaa's in there somewhere. It's at the end of the month sometime, so we got lots going on. Next Thursday, I think. See, I knew it was somewhere. We are obviously here at the lovely Citrus Club. Today is the day that we talk about Dress for Success. Hey, Carmen Aritas, give us a thumbs up. Let us know you can hear us and see us. Super important because these ladies have a great message and a great mission that they're going to share with what's going on. So to my left is Ronita Hunt. Say hi, Ronita.
Hi, everybody.
And then to her left is Victoria Brantley. Hi, Victoria. So we're very excited to have them on the show. This organization is just one of my favorites. It does so many good things in the community. So, and then behind the scenes, the director, the producer of Life is none other than the amazing Lena Morris. Is behind us. You just can't see her. All right. So welcome to the show. Obviously, they can hear us and see us, or we would have gotten Ted, I can't hear you and see you. So welcome, and tell us a little bit about you. People like to know your origin story, maybe where you're from, and then a little bit about your journey to get to Dress for Success. So we'll start with Ronita.
Absolutely. I am Ronita Hunt. I was born in the Midwest, so I'm happy to be here in Florida now. Went to school in Atlanta, lived in Atlanta almost 20 years, and then my husband got a job in Florida. Woo-hoo. Where all my family originally comes from. All my family grew up here, and so it was a natural progression. We always came here on holidays and always said we would retire in Orlando. But I said I don't want to wait till I'm 65, 70 to move to Orlando. So got the opportunity, transitioned here 8 years ago. And in my transition, I needed to build a network. I have been working nonstop. I was a workaholic for the past, 20 years in marketing communications.
Oh.
So branding, I was doing photo shoots, I was flying all over the country, in and out of the country, but never had time to really sit down and give back. And that was on my bucket list of things to do, and things that when I get 65, I'm going to serve on a board. That was my goal.
Love it.
So moved here, and I said, there's this organization I used to give suits to. Let me look them up. Dress for Success. So I came in, I started as a personal shopper. And from that day on, I was able to exercise my passion for fashion.
Passion for fashion.
Yes, I was able to get with women, and I was able to say, hey girl, where are you going to work? Okay, that's going to work. You said you're a size 8. When's the last time you bought a suit? Okay, let's just try on the size 12. I will cut the tag off. And we just have a fun girl for an
That's
hour.
Awesome.
We find out, where they're going to work. And then we kind of tailor what they're going to wear. At the same time, we're talking to them about career tips. So tell me about your resume. Where did you last work? Who are you going to work for? What do you know about the company?
And this is the organization.
And this
right?
is the organization.
Okay, so
I'm
we've
kind
jumped.
of weaving in
We're
the
going
story
back and
here.
forth. That's all right.
And so
I like it.
From that point on, I got a network of women that I was working with. I was just a personal shopper. And one day someone heard me talking in the boutique and said, we need you on the board. Come to the next board meeting. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm not 65.
Listen, that's not part of my goal yet.
I'm not 65 now. But I was able to come to the board meeting. They quickly asked me if they could put me on the ballot to be voted as an events director. I served in that capacity for a year. Then I was voted in as a VP, and now I've served for the last 4 years as president here.
Wow.
And it's been a
Congratulations.
complete honor to serve the women here, and the families, and most importantly, the community of Orlando.
All right, so I want to ask more details about Dress for Success,
Okay.
But I want Victoria to pop in and give us her background and her story a little bit and how she got to work with Dress for Success.
Absolutely. I came in as a client, believe it or not. I was in my last semester pursuing my bachelor's degree, and I just needed to be tweaked. I needed to be polished. I needed a soft skill set when it came to looking for employment. So I was referred over to Dress for Success by the university that I was actually attending at the time. And when I went in, it was just like Ronita stated. I got the tips and girlfriend type of environment, and I'm like, this is it? And they're like, this is it. Let's find your color. Let's see what best fits you. long story short, years down the line, I'm still here. I'm attached to their hip. I am full circle today. I sit on the board where I help.
Congratulations.
Thank you
That's
so much.
awesome.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, today I sit on the board and I just bring women in. I help them do the same exact experience that I had. So I can actually tell people when I go out and I speak on the behalf of Dress for Success, it works. And I tell people, closed mouths don't get fed. You have to first go get the help. You have to say what you
Absolutely.
need. And we meet each and every client at where they are.
So let me ask you about, so let's talk about Dress for Success. I've got a couple of questions, basic questions that I think I know the answer to, but I want you to tell the audience.
Awesome.
Hi, Chris Hales, by the way. She says hi, everyone, with lots of hearts.
Thank you.
Tell us, does someone have to be of a certain socioeconomic? Is there a level like somebody, or can anybody come in and utilize the services? How does that work?
Traditionally, when we started Dress for Success, it was based on income level. But now, over the past 2 years, we've changed our mission globally, that we need to service all women. You know, it could happen overnight that you have a fire, that you know, all of a sudden lost your job, your husband comes home this evening and says, I want a divorce and I'm taking everything. I cleaned out the accounts, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I need? So instead of basing it on economic need, we specifically focus it on overall need.
I love it. Because that's right, because it doesn't, like sometimes, I know women who've been in that situation, like how about the women that come out of, for example, Harbor House or out of treatment. They've been in long-term treatment and they come out and they're trying to reestablish their lives and they have no idea what to dress for. And a lot of people also in that situation, they've got such a self-esteem challenge. And so talk about the tips a little bit, because I think giving tips and giving that encouragement, which you both talked about, is so critical part of it. It's not like you're just sizing them up and saying, here's your size 12, go forth and do good. You're doing so much more with them.
Yes. You know, I think the first thing is that we are beyond the suit. We were founded on the basis of supplying clothing.
Love it.
But once they put on that clothing, it's a magical experience that happens that changes their confidence. They stand straighter.
Right.
They're wanting to know, okay, well now I want to put makeup on. Now I want to talk about, can I cover my grays? Now I want to really put myself together and put the best foot forward because I look better.
Right.
And so that's the foundation that we start on. And then we have our overall programming, which we talk about career readiness tips, which is your overall interview, resume, 10-second sell. And then we also have job retention, where we really talk about the heart of things, like what is your purpose? How do we get you to the next level? To whatever happened in your life that got you here won't get you back here again.
Yes, you don't slip back, or so it doesn't happen
Exactly.
again. Lisa Lee wants to know where we can donate business clothes.
Absolutely. Hi, Lisa Lee.
Thank you
for that question. You can look at our website at greaterorlando.com.org. So it's actually www.greaterorlando.dressforsuccess.org, or you can follow us on Facebook at Dress for Success Greater Orlando, also on Instagram. Our donation season starts in March, so we will be taking all items starting in March again.
Interesting. Why March?
Well, it's the kickoff to Women's Month.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I knew there had to be a reason.
Also, we just give ourselves time. We are a 90% volunteer-run organization.
Right.
So we have one paid part-time person. So with that, we give ourselves time to get through the holiday season, do our annual report at the beginning of the year, and then we just have dedicated time that we're taking in clothing, going through clothing, sizing, cleaning, all of that type of inventory and back end of Dress for Success from March to October.
What do you take? What things are, like suits are traditional, that's what you think of, right? Beyond the suit.
Yes.
But what kind of items do you take? Is it all
Of course, we're in Florida, so that's a whole nother thing. That's like, you know, we have to put in some linen, we have to put in some white, and we definitely have to have a whole lot of color. So we do kind of expand our interest in that way here locally. Also, we're more casual here in Florida, so we definitely look for dresses that are kind of like the knit that I have on, something that's a little matte jersey that can go from day to evening, that we can throw a blazer on and somebody can go to a business meeting and take it off and be in the park in the afternoon.
Right. You know, it's interesting because men will come up to me and say, Ted, I could never wear that. And that to me is a sign of there's this insecurity, right? And once you put on something that you think you look great in or good in, it automatically changes the way you're feeling. And you touched on that earlier. I think it's so important. So anybody out there who isn't taking that risk fashion-wise, or because a lot of times I can tell, and I think you guys can too from being around it that much, you can see when somebody's self-confidence in the way they dress and they present themselves and the way they slouch, the way they don't smile, the way their hair is a mess. I mean, there's so many signs. And so if you can help them, when Dress for Success helps the women and they're in something that maybe for the very first time they feel good about, it's life-changing. It's life-altering. And I think that's... Do you work with, is it only adult women? Do you work with kids? Do you have programs where you do outreach in the community? I'm asking multiple questions at once, but...
Awesome. Well, it leads us to our newest program, Blazers for Success. And to really serve the need, our base was mostly 18 plus. Really, our sweet spot was in women 25 to 35. But we said we have a whole bunch of women here in Greater Orlando coming out of college, coming out of high school, that don't have a wardrobe staple of a blazer.
Right.
And you can pop that on with a sundress, you can pop it on with jeans, and you are professional and ready to go. And so we started Blazers for Success. We kicked it off at the Tom Joyner Morning Show Family Reunion this past September. Unfortunately, it was the same weekend as Hurricane Dorian.
Oh.
So we prepared for over 200 students, but we still, in the hurricane, got 100
Wow.
that day to get suited. And man, Victoria,
Oh
I'm
my
sure you
God.
can talk about, as soon as we put that on there, the blazer on them, it just changed them.
Yes.
They wanted to wear it all day. You know, a lot of people, when I was, I'm an idea person, and so I was talking this idea through, and people said, well, the young people these days, they're not into dressing professional. They don't want to be professional. They're all casual. And I was like, well, if we give them the tools for success,
Absolutely.
I believe we can change that.
I agree.
And so we just went out there, and us ladies, we took off of our day jobs.
Yes, we did.
Because again, Dress for Success is mostly run by volunteers, and that's including the board members and myself. I do not get paid. And we just went out there and we took 3 or 4 hours and just nonstop suiting ladies. We were sweating. We had to give each other a bottle of water, like in the back, tag you in, tag you out. But it was the most rewarding experience.
Yes, it was. It was. It really was.
You know what I love too is listening to you. I'm guessing, actually I know this for a fact, but I'm gonna want you to talk about it. You're not just throwing a blazer at somebody and going, wear this.
No.
You're taking time out to get to know them, to talk to them, with your backgrounds, you're looking at maybe their skin tone or what their size.
Absolutely.
Like you're really taking into account, and it's not just a quick drive-through where here you go, here's a blazer, good luck to you. You do a lot more with that.
Absolutely. That's the other viable connection of Dress for Success. A lot of people have not had a hug in a while. A lot of people have not had somebody get in their face and talk to them one-on-one and ask them, what do you want?
Right.
What is your favorite color?
Right.
How would you like to present yourself? And they're like, well, I haven't thought about that. Well, let's talk about that. Let's go back to the last time you had a favorite color.
Right.
Or last time you were able to do that for yourself.
That's so important.
And so one of my really sweet spots, I am not a traditional 8, 10, and I don't even think that's traditional anymore. It's more like 14 plus, and that's where I am. And so I really make sure that we always have plus size, appropriate suiting and blazers that really flatter the woman.
Right.
And really giving them options, not just saying, I only have this black boxy thing that's going to make you look terrible. We're really trying to I want to make you have the same confidence
Yes,
as everyone
absolutely.
else.
That's so important because
Absolutely.
body size, we have this vision or this view of our body, and so that impacts us. I mean, people, it just does. And so
Yes.
if you're going to throw on you're going to throw a black jacket on them that feels a little bit tight. Guess what's going to happen? They're gonna go. Oh, they've got none of my size. I'm too big. Immediately they go to the self-esteem
Yes.
issues
Yes.
again, and they're like, I got to get out of here. I can go anywhere and feel bad. And so I love that you all take the time and are really focus on that, because nobody's I mean, I'm at a 33 waist. No, I'm not. I'm not a perfect 32 waist anymore. It's just not the way
Right.
the world is. So don't believe all the influencers out there on Instagram and
Right.
Facebook, guys. The most real people are bigger sizes than that, and so don't make yourself feel bad. My wife is I don't know how she described herself, tall, so she dresses for that, and she's like, I feel sorry for women that don't know how to dress like that.
Yes.
Because a lot of the women either wear something that's too tight or too big, and they don't know how to accessorize, and so you're helping them. You're teaching them some things that they can do, tricks of the trade, tips,
Yes.
anything like that. And believe it or not, those little things make such a huge
Yes, they do.
difference.
Yes, they do.
Especially, let's say you are going into the workforce, you're going out into the workforce. People immediately, I know it's not the greatest thing on the planet, but here's the truth of it. They judge you. They look at you, and I don't care what your resume looks like. If your outfit looks disheveled and you look like you just threw it on and got up in the morning, guess what? Nobody's going to, Dan Wallace says, well wishes. Hi, Dan. Nobody's going to want to talk to you further because the only thing they can think about is how bad you look.
Yes,
And then that
so
impacts
true.
their decision on, well, if they don't care about their own self, why would they care about this job? So you have to think about the mental with that. That's why what you provide is so important.
So important.
So what's coming up? You have March, but do you have any fundraisers, anything coming up that we need to know about before I ask you my final couple of
Absolutely.
questions?
Absolutely. So we have our annual signature luncheon, Hats Off to Success, that will be happening June 26th this year, Wednesday. We're keeping the same partnership with Second Harvest Community Room.
I love it.
That is an awesome place. If you have not been to Second Harvest
Beautiful.
Central Florida, you are missing out.
Yes.
I agree.
Their whole staff, they train people who are getting back into the workforce in hospitality. So everyone who's working on the catering staff is preparing our food. It's just as we've gone to any world-class venue in Orlando, same treatment.
I love
We've
it.
had sold out 2 years in a row. We've been able to honor some powerhouse women here in Florida.
Yes.
We're going to do that again. So please, as soon as you see the notification for the event, please go ahead and like, share, and purchase your ticket.
Amen.
You can actually go on Dress for Success, Greater Orlando, Facebook right now, like the event so you can stay up to date with all the updates
Smart
coming
tips
soon.
there. Yes, very good.
Yes. Also, any businesses, big or small, we have opportunities from in-kind donations, but also corporate sponsors, table sponsors. We also have that opportunity as well. You can email at development@dressforsuccessgreaterorlando.org.
So one other quick question, and then I want to
Yes.
ask about mentors. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about. But how can if somebody's out there and says, okay, I'm a dude, or maybe I'm a woman who doesn't have something to donate,
Okay.
can people get involved?
Absolutely. We have two programs. One is our $30 challenge. And that was started because we can get a whole suit at Walmart. This is a fashion tip. For $30 at Walmart. It's machine washable, it's appropriate, and it goes up to size 26. So you could donate that $30, which is like nothing if
Right.
you're working. So definitely donate the $30 and it will go a long way for a woman. Also, we have volunteer opportunities from doing inventory management in our storage facility to helping in our events. That's how our men can get involved.
Very
They
cool.
can also help with our programming. Men have skill sets and can give I love the partnership of he for she,
Right.
and also hearing the perspective, a male perspective to a woman, of how we come off in a meeting and what we need to work on.
I like
and
that.
so we
Yeah.
welcome them into our
Absolutely.
programming workshops as well.
Love that. All right, so lots of ways for you to help out, get involved, make an impact with Dress for Success Greater Orlando. All right, and we're going to share all of Ronita's contact information. We'll share Lena's behind screen. We'll share Victoria's. We'll give the links again. But you guys are obviously you're really already in a mentor position, what you're doing. Can you share maybe one or two mentors that made an impact on your life, either professionally, personally, or both? We want people to get more involved. That's why I love to share when we have leaders
Absolutely.
on. I like them to share that they were also mentored at some time.
Absolutely. I think one of the tips for success is giving back. And through giving back, I've met so many leaders, powerhouse leader women that I would have never met otherwise. One of those are Commissioner Ng's wife, June Ings. She is a doll. She's behind the scenes. She's not a person that you'll see a lot in the limelight, but she has a strong communications background. So she's helped me professionally in that way, but also for my community efforts. So.
Fantastic. June Ings. How about you, Victoria?
Oh goodness, it takes a village to raise a child, right?
Amen.
Even as an adult.
Yes.
So 3 major mentors I've had. Dress for Success. They don't stop till the mission has been completed. And even after that, it's an ongoing relationship. I've had Commissioner Victoria Sipling, as well as a life coach, needs a life coach, Marita Sutton Brown. She has also
I love
Marita.
She is
amazing.
She's amazing.
Yes, she is. She has also been a part of my village. So those 3, listen.
How awesome.
Yes.
Thanks, Barbara.
Yes, those are my 3 mentors.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Listen, people, if you're not mentoring someone, if you're not giving back, I mean, 'tis the season, but we need it 24/7. Melanie Blue says, I learned from my husband to give a strong handshake in a professional
Awesome.
setting.
Yes.
These are the kind of tips that are
Yes.
important, right? You just don't think about it.
Yes.
Most of us have heard it. We think most of us have heard it. Maybe there's a lot of people who have not heard it. Maybe a lot of these women are going out into the job force for the first time or the first time in a long time, and things have changed and shifted. So any kind of tips like that are great. You guys are a joy to have on. Thank you, Ronita. Thank you, Victoria. Dress for Success Greater Orlando Facebook page. We tagged it in this, and then dressforsuccess.greaterorlando.org. Correct?
And really quickly, before we get all the way to 2020, if you want to give between now and the end of the year, please text 44321. Text Blazers, BLAZERS, to 44321.
Love it.
Any amount helps a woman and a family.
Fantastic. You guys are a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lena. We
Thank
love
you,
you guys.
Tad.
We'll be back later on. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Mwah. Bye.